Hello, dear viewer. No joke today. We've got to move quick. I went on albumoftheyear.org and I listened to every album that caught my eye from the month of September of 2025. Some absolutely fantastic records dropped this month, as did some genuinely abhorrent ones. I'm going to rank them today on this tier list. That's about it. Let's get started. Fleshwater 2000, In Search of the Endless Sky. Fleshwater, more like freshwater. That's the whole joke. There's some good songs buried in this record, but truthfully, this is kind of hollow to me. I like the tracks Green Street and Last Escape, but a lot of this felt like wasted space. The problem I encountered when I listened to this band's debut record, We're Not Here to Be Loved, as well. It's got that Deftones vibe, but kind of the mediocre side of that Deftones coin. Closer to Ohms than Koi no Yokan. I hope this helps. I'm going to say this was good, but I don't think I'll be back to this record minus the songs I already highlighted. Cardi B, Am I the Drama? This is exactly what you expect it to be. I fear my white ass has gained, to be honest, absolutely nothing from this. Incredibly mediocre hip-hop from what I heard here. This has a demographic, and I'm pretty sure it's nobody watching this video. I won't be back. Angry Noises. This is a project I can very clearly acknowledge isn't for everybody. It's really noisy, kind of Swans-like musically. It's got that post-rock stink on it. And again, that just isn't for everybody. But this is some excellent work. Really angry, really gritty, but this was a super entertaining listen, top to bottom, I'd say. The first track especially, almost 20 minutes long, but it really captivated me from start to finish. I'm going to say this was great. Suede, Antidepressants. This is pretty mediocre right here. It really wants to be edgy, and I don't think it lyrically is able to really match that vibe it's going for. Vocally, I was pretty unimpressed for probably 80% of this record, but I did think the closing track was pretty good. This thinks it's way better than it is, and that kind of annoys me. Does that make sense to you? I won't be back. Wednesday, Bleeds. I like this. Pretty strong project, I think, and really accessible. Some pretty simple slacker rock. I've got no complaints here. Strong vocals top to bottom, some fairly solid lyricism. I can't say I loved every song here, but when this project is good, it's pretty great. Back of this was great. 21 Pilots, Breach. I don't think I get it. Sounds like Maroon 5 to me, and I mean the bad Maroon 5 from the last decade. Super generic and kind of uninspired, I thought. I don't hate it, I wouldn't go that far. Most of this sounds like it belongs on the pop radio station your mom listens to in the car, and belongs nowhere near my phone. I personally won't be back. But top of that tier, I see the appeal. Shame, Cutthroat. I take it back. This is the shit you hear in your mom's car on the radio station. This is some shit I'd expect to see people line dancing to, vocally and lyrically. I'm actually going to go as far as saying this sucks. Really bland instrumentation on here as well. It's kind of like if Modest Mouse just sucked complete ass. I won't be back. Above Cardi B. Big Thief, Double Infinity. Didn't do much for me, to be honest. I think a couple tracks on here are really sweet. That's about it, though. The vocals are typically on point with Adrienne Lenker, and that's certainly the case here, but I can't help but feel like something's missing. A couple tracks here just don't do much, and with only 9 tracks, that just can't really be the case. I think the first half of this is a solid 8 out of 10, I'd say, but the latter half goes down to about a 6. I'm going to say this was good, as a shout out to the first half of this record, but back of that tier. Geese, Getting Killed, fantastic record right here. This is what it's all about. Top to bottom, I think this was seriously excellent. Really strong production on here, really consistently good the whole way through, for real. There's not a song here I'd say I didn't enjoy. An incredibly fun and touching record. Lyrically pretty profound as well. I would recommend this to a friend. I'd like to highlight the last 4 tracks specifically. I think that's one of the better 4-track runs I've heard in the last year or so, to be honest. Really good. Fantastic record. I'm going generational. Mariah Carey, Here for It All. You know, I kind of counted Mariah Carey out in the big 2025, and while that reaction is completely justified, and to be honest, it worked out pretty well for me, this isn't bad the whole way through. A lot of this falls flat, but I think the last track alone is a track worth listening to from Mariah Carey at this point in her career. Certainly not worth listening to this whole record, though. I won't be back. Above the Evil Modest Mouse. Lola Young, I'm Only Fucking Myself. Actually, I have no idea what to say. At times, this makes me want to insert my head into a panini press, but at other times, it's pretty solid. The solid bits are few and far between, I'm afraid, and when this project is bad, it's absurdly bad. Lyrically, garbage for probably 80% of this. I won't be back, but I've left this project incredibly confused. Behind Mariah Carey. Maruja, Pain to Power. I'm afraid those Goose guys have lost their top spot of the month. Record is absurd. Again, maybe a little less accessible than that Geese record, but this record carries some incredible passion behind it. It's a political piece, so if that's not your thing, stay away. And to be honest, I don't really love the vocals here at all. I think they carry the message of this record fairly well, but they're not a highlight of this project for me. Really powerful project top to bottom, though, I'd say. Instrumentally, this album is it's excellent. Top of the generational record tier. Ed Sheeran, Play. I've got a confession, dear viewer. When I was a wee young man, I thought the album Plus was pretty good. It's been a decade since I've last listened to it, and I'm afraid to go back, as I fear it's terrible. This album sucks balls. egregiously uninspired pop music. It sounds like every other Ed Sheeran album from the last decade, so it will most certainly get its target audience grooving. Music like this isn't meant to be critiqued, and I'm not going to even try to. I won't be back above Cardi B. Frost Children's sister. Chad, I don't know. These young cats seem to think this was good. I'm going to take their word for it today. I don't understand house music. I would never listen to this on purpose. It doesn't make sense unless I'm extremely drunk, and this video's got to drop tomorrow, so I don't have time to get drunk. An inexplicable top of the good tier, I don't know what to do. Justin Bieber Swag 2. 44 Justin Bieber songs is something I'm actually not willing to subject myself to. You'll have to forgive me. I did listen to Standing on Business, which is a track featuring Drewski. It's a skit. There is not a singular world, nor an alternate reality, where a Justin Bieber album has any business having skits or interludes or anything of that sort. Go away. Dear God, why? Jade, that's showbiz, baby. This is a solid pop record right here. I can't go much further than that, though, I'm afraid. At points, this sounds super generic and something I could find on pretty much any pop album from the last decade. But at other points, this has a fairly unique sound that I enjoyed quite a bit. Strong vocals on here, too, I'd say. But I'll probably never listen to this top to bottom again. I'd be surprised. Top of this was good for me. Olivia Dean, The Art of Loving. This is pretty cool shit right here. Really sweet record. Really well produced as well. Lyrically, I enjoyed what I read. I can't say this is fantastic the whole way through, but a couple tracks from here went into my smiling through it all. Can't believe this is my life playlist. Could have maybe sat on this a little while longer, though. Fleshed out some of the more mediocre tracks, like, to be honest, maybe the last 4 or 5. I'm going to say this was great, but I probably could have dropped this a tier. Rochelle Jordan, Through the Wall. This isn't the wall. This isn't the wall at all. Where's Roger Waters? Where's David Gilmour? This was good, above this cool ass. Oh, 9909, Tomorrow We Escape. Some decent hip-hop, I'd say. Really heavy project, and I did enjoy a couple tracks here, but I can't say I enjoyed all of them. The instrumentation here I thought was actually pretty solid for most of the record, but the actual rapping and lyricism I thought was kind of mediocre. I fear this was good. Behind Fleshwater. The Tron Ares soundtrack, 9 Inch Nails. A tough project to really rank out of context, but I wanted to give 9 Inch Nails some love here. I haven't seen the movie, and I have no plan to, either. There's a fucking Mr. Beast cameo. As far as I'm concerned, that speaks enough about the quality of the film. As for the music, I think there's some really great shit buried in here. A lot of this falls pretty flat, without context, but there's a couple really fantastic songs in here. Most notably the closer track, Shadow Over Me. That song was pretty excellent. Reminded me of the 9 Inch Nails Glory days. This was good tier. Behind Jade. Young Thug, Oi Scooty. Guys, I can't say, I have nothing to say. Horrible stuff. I don't really want to think about it anymore. Top of Dear God, Why? It's better than that Justin Bieber thing still. Doja Cat, V. This is pretty solid, I'd say. A good step in the right direction after her last record. Whatever the fuck that was trying to be, it just didn't pan out. This is kind of what I hope for from these big pop girls. A decent record top to bottom with a couple real hits sprinkled in there. I probably won't be back, but I enjoyed some of the stuff here. Top of that tier. AJR, The Big Goodbye. In perhaps the most inexplicable turn of events, perhaps in the history of mankind, this is a listenable project. I'm not going to call it excellent. I'm not even going to call it good. But it's impressive that this is the same group that wrote Thirsty. The Big Goodbye specifically, a fairly decent track, I thought. Believe me, it's far more painful for me to say that than it is for you to hear it. Again, this isn't great, but it's much better than anything else they've put out. I won't be back above 21 Pilots because I think that's pretty funny. David Byrne and Ghost Train Orchestra, Who is the Sky? David Byrne's got to be, what, 200,000 years old at this point? It's kind of clear here. The track with Hayley Williams is the highlight of this record for me, but do note that's because I'm desperately in love with her. Everything else here kind of falls flat. Nothing really special about this record in any regard. I won't be back above the Evil Modest Mouse. Glaive, Y'all. It's okay. It's okay. This whole thing sounds like it belongs in a TikTok edit, and that's all I really have to say about it. I wasn't in pain, and when it's good, it's fairly good, but there's a decent amount of stinkers on here, I'd say. I liked Asheville, though. That song was silly. I didn't mention the lyrics yet. I think those kind of stink. It's pretty blatantly TikTok music. An incredibly generous back of This Was Good for Me. And that's all I have written here. I'm sure I missed your favorite release from last month, so please inform me of that in all caps in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe if you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.